Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to In the Company of Charity podcast. And I'm Sister Liz, and I'm here with my co host, as always, Sister Elizabeth. Hello, dear sister. How are you?
I'm well, Sister Liz. How are you doing?
Good. It's where in the world is Sister Elizabeth? So where in the
Yes.
world are you right now?
Well, I'm actually back home in St. Louis, but the interview you're going to hear today was done in Paris. So I have been traveling around the world, because the world is Paris, and then Emmitsburg, and then Albany,
New York.
Utica. Yeah. So there was a little bit of a journey, But after 7 weeks, I'm now home, back in St. Louis, back in the seminary. Gathered
And
all the seminary sisters. We're all back home, trying to get back into our schedule and our seminary life for a
you
few
know
more
what
months.
we haven't talked about in quite a while is the weather.
We
I
have
think people
not.
people have been missing the weather report.
I've heard that. I've heard some people are not sure what they should wear. Should they bring an umbrella? Because we haven't talked about the weather. It is getting beastly hot here, I'll have to say. I was very delighted to be traveling north from here in the spring, right? So we started traveling in early May, up to Emmitsburg, and then New York, Baltimore, and Albany, Utica. And it was wonderful because every time we moved, we dropped 5 degrees. So I was so delighted. We were just like a day before spring, right? We were still in the
Mm.
very, very end of the cold weather. So, but then we came home to St. Louis, and within a day it was 80 something degrees. Yeah.
Which is like a cool spring day for us. Just
Yeah,
to
yeah. So,
remind you, if you're
yes.
feeling hot, we have two temperatures down here. It's hot or hotter. So
Yeah.
we're getting into the excessive heat time
I
down here in
just
South
yeah.
Texas.
I know. And like I said, I'm in St. Louis, and it's not hot, hot, hot like it is where you are. But from what I've had the last 4 years, oh my goodness, and it's my whole nature, I mean, it's a
You're a
New
cold
England
weather
girl,
person.
I'm
Mm.
a total cold weather person, totally. So I was just delighting in getting to wear a sweatshirt again, in May. I thought, oh, this is heaven. It's all over now.
Nope, it's done.
It's June, and
Say goodbye.
yeah, I came out to my car after a meeting, and it was 100 in the car. And I was like, what is happening? Oh my goodness.
Yes. Welcome
So,
to my life.
so weather report, there it is.
Done. There you
Yeah,
go.
I don't know what the rain is going to be like. It's just hot. That's it.
Well, I'm excited that we're going to have this episode with the sisters from India. So cool. They just seem so genuine and so full of joy, these girls, to hear their vocation stories. Really delightful.
Yeah, I just, as some of you know from other episodes, the intros we've been talking about, I've been in Paris at a session called the Seminarium, which is a gathering of the seminary sisters in a time of study and kind of planting seeds to see how our initial formation period is done, and what we can learn from what we're doing and that kind of thing. And these two sisters just really impress me. They're so, as you say, they're so genuine and they're so full of life. And I do have to say, I was one of the oldest. At 62, I was one of the oldest who there, seminary directresses, and just their vibrancy was really captivating to me. They're just really wonderful young women, and as peers in this formation work, it's a different kind of work than Daughters of Charity you're used to, right? And you'll hear as they tell their story about their attraction to the community, came not just in their service of the poor, which was of course important, but also through the witness of the sisters they met. And I was
Mm.
really kind of fascinated too by that their story had to do with witnessing and seeing Daughters of Charity in action. And that's not the case for everybody, that there are Daughters of Charity all around them. So these sisters had that experience of having the example of daughters that really drew them into the charism. So I appreciate those sisters because they obviously did some great witnessing of
Mm.
service to people who are poor in the area that they were living. So But I think you're really
And
going to enjoy their story, and again, just their vibrancy. They're just very happy women.
full of life, full of joy.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and at the end of the episode, keep on listening. Don't click out of it, because there is a beautiful little song that that you have a recording of that we can hear at the end. So we're going to tack that on there at the end of the interview.
Yeah. Definitely stay. Don't give up. Well, you won't
Don't
want
give
to
up.
because
No.
they're beautiful. I mean, it's just they're gonna really captivate you, and then the music is just gonna really be kind of the icing on the cake. But we can't also move on from this because we're also in probably one of the most important days of the little company of the Daughters of Charity today. As we're recording, it's June 4th, and today is the day that 400 years ago,
Mm,
Saint Louise de Marillac experienced. It was Pentecost then in 1623. Experienced the lifting of doubt and worry that she had around her vocation, her own mortality, her relationship with God. I mean, she was struggling. And this day, God lifted those doubts and gave her a mission,
mm,
really gave her a calling to answer her own wish, right, which was to give her life to God. And he paved the pathway for her and said, "You will do it, but it will look like nothing you've seen before. You will be with others who will serve the poor and living in community, but there will be many comings and goings, right?"
mm. And
And
she wrote down that experience
Mhm.
and carried it on her person
That's
for
right.
the rest of her life, folded up, and we have it. We
And we
have
have
it.
it. We have it. Like it's amazing. We have it, and this this year, so mark it, right? That as we speak to you today, June 4th, 2023, the Congregation of the Mission, who is in possession of this document, literally written close to 400 years ago about an event that happened on this day 400 years ago. They had it in their archives. And in order to commemorate this amazing time, um, it was transferred to our archives in the
Mm,
Motherhouse at the Rue de Bac in Paris. I mean, for someone who doesn't get it, like doesn't belong in some way. I don't think you can understand the emotion of having this particular document returned or in our space that I think now, when we go to Paris, when we go to the Motherhouse, we'll be able to go to the archives and see it and know that this was the beginning, the absolute beginning of God's call to St. Louise and her response that brought this little company together. It's just amazing. And from that, here we are 400 years later, right? Something
mm.
happened in Paris, France, 400 years ago. And what are we doing? We're in the United States, about to have you listen to an interview with two sisters from India. And we are the same Daughters of Charity that,
With the same spirit
same
of
spirit that Louise
this.
gathered around her 400 years ago. I don't know if your mind's not
Stop it.
blowing yet.
Stop it right now. So
It's
amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing. It's the same spirit. We're from the same lineage. We're the same. And yeah, so
When
to
you're
be
done listening to the episode, you got to poke around online and
mm,
follow on social media if you haven't already to the Daughters of Charity Vocations US, and you can just see some of these things that they've posted and shared. Very, very cool celebrations over there at our mother house, and just a moving experience, y'all.
oh, it was so moving. I wept like a baby. I was like, this is so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Yeah. And so I just really encourage you. This interview is an example of St. Louise's prophetic action and listening to the word of God and doing it for the good of the church and for the good of the people of the church,
Mm.
for the good of the poor. That's it.
Snaps,
And here we
snaps for
are,
that.
United States. Here we are in India. You'll hear some other interviews from sisters in Kenya, Nigeria. I mean, around the world. We're in 96 different countries. What do you do with that? Starting 400 years ago in a church in Paris to a young woman who wasn't sure. If you're not sure, pray to God. He will give you the answer. and we'll be here to help you.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Guys, enjoy this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
So, hi everyone. I'm back again from the Motherhouse of the Daughters of Charity, and I am here today with two of our sisters from the province of South India. They are both, as the others have been, working with seminary sisters who are kind of like novices, but not, and postulants. So I'm going to introduce both of them, and they're going to tell us a little bit about how they met the Daughters of Charity and why they feel so strongly in their vocation. So the first we're going to hear from Sister Sibina. Sister Sibina, we're glad to have you here today.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and so tell me about how you met the daughters for the first time and what brought you to the community. Why did you want to join the Daughters of Charity?
Okay, thank you, Sister Elizabeth. I am Sister Sibina, Perumbura Kadavil. My province belongs to Bangalore, in India. And my story is very short. In the year 2000, when I completed my studies, where all other students joined to congregation, there are a number of people who are suffering in the world, and there emerged a kind of compassion and love for the poor. I met a sister who was a daughter of charity. She came to my house, and then we had little time interaction with her about the congregation, and she was sharing about the Daughters of Charity, the service that they render to the poor. And then my parents told me, if at all you are going to become a sister, you have to become a daughter of charity. Why it's my father said, I was thinking, because my that sister one who was talking to me, she was from morning to by afternoon, she was with us in our house, and she was talking about the different services that they are rendering to the poor. And my father was taken up with her happiness, the joy that she was enjoying, and the peace and serenity that she has. And my father said one word, if at all my daughter is going to become a daughter of charity, a sister in any congregation, I will send it to daughter of charity, because my daughter should be always happy and content with the service that she does for the poor people. So we had a vocation camp after 15 days, and then I came for vocation camp where almost 70 young girls came together, and the Daughters of Charity's house it was. And the sisters conducted number of programs. It was amazing. And then I decided that yes, there was an inner call within me that I met so many handicapped students, handicapped children, and they are differently abled. They are able to do a lot of things. And then all the sisters in the house, they were serving the poor people with a lot of compassion and kindness. So I thought of, after having attended the vocation camp, I went back. June 10th, 2000, I decided to come back and join the Daughters of Charity. There I met so many sisters who are really committed, enthusiastic, and very genuine, and they had lot of love for the poor, where I learned little bit about St. Vincent de Paul, St. Louis de Marillac, and the life was really, I felt I also will join in this congregation. That is how I met the Daughters of Charity. I joined in the year 2000.
Wow, so that was only 23 years ago.
Yes.
And you are now the directress of the seminary sisters. Yes. That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
You know, we've been at this session with other formators, right? Other seminary directresses and directresses of postulants. And one thing we keep hearing is that the formators, the directresses in the community, need to have the charism in them very strongly, right?
Yes,
And I keep hearing from sisters saying, when I first met the Daughters of Charity, they were so joyful and they loved the poor And I knew I wanted to do that, all right?
Yes, yes.
And it's like something inside us wakes up a little. I say that a lot. And I think that's very exciting when I hear it, daughter of charity after daughter of charity. So Sister Lucy, tell us about how the fire of the daughter of charity burned in your heart. When did you come and how did you meet the daughters?
Yes. My name is Sister Lucy Matathir, province of South India, and I joined the congregation 1999. So the first, after my metric studies, I was just thinking of I want to become a nun. So I was reflecting, and I had gone for a common vocation camp. Where I could get so many addresses of many sisters, but that doesn't I kept in my mind. I was praying. Then I don't know from where these two daughters of charity came to visit my family. Still now I do not know who has given my address or anything, nothing of that. They came and they spoke about their congregation, their service and all that. I was so much taken up, and they told, if you like, you can just come and see. We have a house in nearby our house. You can come and see. Just me and one of my brother went to the congregation. Then I saw disabled people and how the sisters serving. As soon as we entered the house of our daughter of charity, their welcoming attitude, we could feel that it's my own home. I felt there. So just we went around and saw how the sisters are serving with them and how the disabled people are enjoying with the sisters, and that was I have taken up. So then I went back to my home and I said, okay, I am going to this congregation. So also I had a little trouble during my discerning. In a sense, one of my brother was not so much of happy to send me to become a nun. Whatever, maybe I just said, okay, I am going like that. Then I reached the congregation. I was so happy the way sisters were dealing with the poor people and also with us, and allowed us to learn many things and open up for the freedom they have given. So I was enjoying, but not only that, even during my formation time, I was sometimes the Command C program, I was comparing with other congregation. I was during my studies, I was so much connected with other congregation, how they treat each other and all that. But for me, it was a new knowledge of this and how we take care of one another, even sisters, joy, happiness, and sharing with one another. That was I was taken up very much, and I could feel that God has called me to follow this way of life. So I accepted it and I am following. My sent on mission was 2005.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So you are both pretty new.
Yes.
And young. How old are you?
I'm at the age of 41.
41. So 20 years ago, you were young,
yes.
right? I'm always fascinated because I came at 36 years old. So I was old lady when I came. And I always find it fascinating when I hear that somehow the daughters came to your house, they met your family.
Yes.
Was that a little scary for you? Like these daughters showing up and you think, oh, why are they here in my house?
Yeah, it was scary for me actually. But it is a custom in our place, in our local area. Sisters come and visit the families. We have the catechism classes and we have vocation camp for all the Catholics together, and they visit the families. So through the visiting of the family, they'll come to know somebody who is interested to serve the poor, to become a nun and so on. So they find out.
Oh, so that's a lot like it was in the old days, right? I mean, we don't visit as much as we used to, families, but we always hear the stories of the Daughters of Charity walking through the streets, getting to know the neighbors, right? To know who's in their community. That's great. So, Sister Sibina, tell me, how many seminary sisters are
At
you?
present, we have 4 seminary sisters.
Nice.
And May 9th, 3 more postulates Sister Lucy will give me, and their entrance, we are preparing for their entrance. May 9th.
Wow.
So there will be 7.
May 9th on the 7th. So we have been doing some Zoom, using technology in very positive ways, doing Zoom meetings with the seminary sisters from the United States, from Kenya. So we would love to set up a time to talk with your sisters, have the sisters in the United States talk with the sisters in South India, the seminary sisters, because we're an international community. So we are just two of 20-something countries that are here for this session. And I was thinking about our postulants as well. So Sister Lucy, after these three in May go to Sister Sibina, will you have any new postulants?
Yes, I have 8 postulants.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. At the present total 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have 11 right now.
Yeah.
You're happy to send 3 on. Yes.
Now today they are entering into the retreat before entering into the seminary.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Blessings on all of them. That is so exciting. That is so exciting. So I've really been thinking a lot about our sessions here. Some of them have been a little heavy, talking about accompaniment and what accompaniment really means, like what it means to walk with a young woman today. And we talked about technology, how to use it, and the ways that people today can get caught up, and we're really trying to use it in a positive way. I'm wondering, what are some other areas that you feel are difficult for your sisters?
At present, we are getting candidates from a poor area where their faith aspect is very low. So as they come, we have to teach them English, because we are coming from, our province is consisted of 9 states. So we speak in each state a different language. So we have a problem like that. As they come, we have to teach them first year English.
Wow.
So after learning English, they go for 2 years college studies, and then they come to postulancy. Before entering to the postulancy, they have 3 months of apostolic experience in different communities. So the language is very important. English is very important. They are coming from a place where they studied from 1st standard to the 10th standard in their own local language. They have no background of English. So for us, it's very difficult to teach them English and they take the classes, everything in English. So as they come to postulancy, again they have a lot of things to study there about our charism, constitution, all these things. And they're not able to pick up as we think. So very slow progressing.
Yeah, that does sound so.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that is. I can see how that would be a barrier in some ways for some, but it sounds like you have a really good program to help the sisters or help the young women before they become seminary sisters to learn not just about the charism and apostolic work, but a language that they will have to, because you don't share a language. Wow, that's really fascinating. But, in some ways there's a sense of the unity that comes, right? We've talked a lot about that here too, that we might be from all these different provinces and we certainly are speaking many different languages while we're here. But the charism unites us in such a strong way. So when they come to postulancy, Sister Lucy, are they already finished? They finished college by that point?
Finished college. That is +1, +2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then once they're done, they can come as postulants. They're with you for 2 years?
Yeah, 1.5 years.
1.5, okay. Yeah. And then
in between that 1 year, it is continuously they will be. In between, they have an outstretched program like 3 months course. They go different place and interact with many other congregation postulants. Then they come back after 3 months. Again, they will go for the community experience for 2 months.
Oh, so they don't live in community while that first year of postulancy.
No, we are living with the community, but the 1 year just like a learning process, So they will be more with the postulancy period.
Oh, okay.
So apart from that, they are sent to different communities, 2 by or 1 by. Then they will have more close to the community.
Wow, yeah. So a real local community experience.
Yeah.
Then they come back to you.
Yeah.
And you get them ready to go to Sister Sabina. Oh, Oh, nice. It's, our process is 1 year as a pre-postulant. So there's come and see and choices weekends, different weekends. Then they would come as a pre-postulant, and then they would come as a postulant. So each of those would be a year.
Yes.
1 year pre-postulant, 1 year postulant, and then to the seminary for a year and a half, 18 months. Yes. Yeah. They get excited, yes. 18 months. One of our priests who did their incorporation, this group that I have now, kept telling them it was 22 months. Oh, we said, no, it's going to be 18 months. But it will be as long as it needs to be, right? Yeah. And we're not going to rush anybody.
Yeah, today as Father Thomas mentioned, there's no need to rush through the period of formation year that is fixed. Because for us in India, for you maybe it is, women come maybe in their age 30, 35 and so on. So ours is only 20, 23, 24. So we don't keep them, we can extend their period of formation of seminary even. If one is not ready, if she is not fit, or we can extend their period of formation for that particular person.
Yeah.
And when she is ready, we send her for mission.
It's funny, I felt like that was a big message of our meeting.
Yeah.
Two things. One is don't rush.
Yeah.
Let the woman have time to really deepen her sense of vocation, and certainly to deepen the charism, to really understand what it means to be a follower of St. Vincent and St. Louise, a daughter of charity. And there she'll find that joy that, I was the same. I met daughters, I just thought these are the happiest women I've ever met. And I just felt at home with them. I entered in 1996, so just a little bit before you, but I was older. But the women coming today in the United States are also in their 20s, and so, but they've been to college already, and I think they also respond to seeing a group of women who are happy to be living together, and usually we're living together happily, right? Yes. Yeah. But even working through the trials and the joys of community life is so exciting when you think about it. So patience is the first thing. And the other, I think, that really came through was being gentle. Yes. Yeah. So do you find that, that you find within yourself a tenderness or a gentleness, like you have some understanding of where the women are in their process?
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because it's hard. It's not always easy, but we've been there. We remember what it was like. And I think Father Tomasz and Sister Francoise really called us to that.
Yeah, we need a lot of patience.
A lot of patience, yes. With ourselves as well. Yes. We want things to move. We want to see success, right? And we know that only the Lord is going to do that, and success isn't going to be the way we look at it, right? It's when this young woman deepens into that vocation that the Lord has called her to. Well, I'm so excited to have had a chance to talk to both of you. It's been such a joy being here with you. We've had such wonderful liturgies, and we should say the one liturgy we had where we had English song, a song from India, a song from Indonesia, a song from Vietnam, a song from the Philippines, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. Yes. It was amazing. Yeah. So the English language group is intercontinental for sure. And so again, I can see the joy. You can't see their faces, but I can see their faces. They're two wonderful, beautiful sisters who are filled with the first fervor of their vocations.
We were excited to see you, Sister Elizabeth, because we had only connection with you through the WhatsApp. I don't have any other connection with any other seminary directors in other countries or anywhere. But I was also excited to see when some sisters are already arrived here. I was asking, is there sisters from America, whether they reached or not? I was excited to see you. And we appreciate you. And myself and Sister Lucy was sharing about you, about your goodness, your gentleness, your patience, your concern and understanding towards all other members in the group. was really very. We were taken up with your life example.
You are so sweet. Very sweet of you to say that. I think we were all kind of taken up with each other. You could tell we were all trying to help one another. And as I said, those languages, the many languages, just similar to what you were saying. Your young sisters, young women come to you from 9 different language groups, 9 different states, and trying to find the moment of Pentecost, right? When we are all speaking the same language, right? And that happens. We find this kind of universal way to speak to one another.
Actually speaking, I didn't find any difficulty in interacting with anyone. Even last time when I came also, because of the Google translation and so on, we don't find any difficulty now. Soon after, if we are seeing another person from another state, even I do not know sister from Damascus, Portuguese, Polish, while we were she wanted to talk to us, but they do not know about this Google translation much. But myself and Lucy made use of it thoroughly. And we were really enjoying. Even we sit with the other group also, we were really enjoying taking them phone and translating it now. Every bit of things we were able to talk to them.
Yeah, the sister from Slovakia, she was amazing. She has got everybody on her translation app. So Google Translate has been very, very helpful because as well as all the languages, just the English language group is speaking. There's also Spanish, Polish, Portuguese, French, Malagasy. Yeah, there's so many languages among us. But again, we are one in that conference hall, listening and just sharing the joy in the liturgies. I think maybe we'll try to post some of the music that we did ourselves, right? The songs that we used in our liturgy on the podcast as well, so people can kind of hear the sounds of joy in every language, especially now moving toward Pentecost is such a great time to do that. So we'll pray to Sister St. Louise de Marillac, and it is the 400th year of her experience, her Lumiere experience, where the Lord took away all her doubts, and we'll pray that the Lord will take away the doubts of any women right now who are discerning, who aren't sure, that He'll lift those doubts, and that on Pentecost He will show them the light, that they want to be a part of a group that has many comings and goings, and a community that's living community well and living for those who are poor. And so again, thank you both for taking the time to talk to me today.
We are very happy, Sister Elizabeth.
ईश्वर अखिलेश्वर